Trump reportedly told Hegseth, "I thought the munitions issue had been fixed." The White House says the conversation never happened. The Washington Post says it did. America has fired hundreds of Tomahawks, thousands of interceptors, and stocks of ATACMS are almost gone. Replenishing them could take years. America is running low on the weapons to fight. Its ability to sustain another major strike might have gone. The White House says it never happened. The Washington Post says it did. And somewhere between those two positions, a serious question about America's ability to sustain a war with Iran is refusing to go away. President Donald Trump reportedly confronted Secretary of War Pete Hegseth during a cabinet retreat at Camp David over severe shortages of U.S. missile stockpiles, as concerns grow about America's ability to sustain its military campaign against Iran. According to the Washington Post, Trump challenged Hegseth during a closed-door exchange on August 1st, demanding to know why critical shortages remained.
"I thought the munitions issue had been fixed."
The report, citing people familiar with the conversation, says dwindling supplies of long-range precision missiles and air defense interceptors have become a key factor in limiting further large-scale U.S. military action against Iran. Various media outlets have reported that stocks of key precision-guided weapons were drawn down to dangerous levels during Operation Epic Fury and have not been replenished at the pace military planners had assumed. Rejecting the report, Trump said the U.S. had far more munitions than anyone in the world, and far more than America needs.
The U.S. has massive amounts of munitions, especially of certain types. Additionally, large amounts are being manufactured and shipped to the U.S. as needed. Defense companies are building the largest number of plants and factories in our country's history. The leakers of these treasonous statements are being hunted down. Long-term jail sentences will be sought.
A report also suggested that Hegseth defended himself during the exchange and allegedly blamed Deputy Defense Secretary Stephen Feinberg for failing to keep the president fully informed. However, both the White House and the Pentagon have strongly denied that any such confrontation took place. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt dismissed the report, insisting Trump continues to back his defense secretary.
"This literally never happened, and we told the Washington Post that repeatedly. This story was shopped to many outlets by someone clearly out to disparage the secretary. The president loves the secretary and thinks he's doing a tremendous job. Fake news."
The reported disagreement comes as the Pentagon faces mounting pressure to replenish weapons consumed during months of fighting. According to previous reporting, U.S. forces have fired hundreds of Tomahawk cruise missiles, more than 1,000 Patriot and THAAD interceptors, and over 1,000 Army tactical ballistic missiles since the conflict began. The Washington Post also reported that stocks of ATACMS missiles have been almost completely exhausted, raising concerns not only for operations in the Middle East, but also for continued military support to Ukraine, which relies heavily on Western air defense systems. The Pentagon has requested an additional $67 billion from Congress to replenish depleted arsenals, while the administration's proposed $1.5 trillion defense budget remains stalled amid political disagreements on Capitol Hill. The Pentagon has rejected claims that Hegseth misled the president or blamed his deputy for the shortages.
Secretary Hegseth did not mislead anyone about our munitions posture, and he did not blame Deputy Secretary Feinberg. These claims about depleted stockpiles, internal disagreements, and the Secretary's position on Iran are equally fictional.
Despite new contracts aimed at increasing missile production, defense experts warn replenishing critical inventories could take years. As the conflict with Iran continues and tensions remain high across the Middle East, the availability of precision-guided weapons is increasingly becoming a strategic challenge for the United States. Months of strikes on Iran have reportedly drained some of America's most advanced long-range weapons. raising new questions about whether the world's most powerful military is prepared for another major conflict. As the war continues, concerns are growing over how much firepower Washington still has in reserve. Reuters reported on August 4th, citing sources that the United States Army has used up much of its stockpile of highly accurate long-range missiles during the 5-month war with Iran. The weapons include the Army Tactical Missile System and the newer Precision Strike Missile, also known as PRSM. Two of the sources said the Army has used virtually all of these surface-to-surface missiles. The exact number remaining has not been disclosed, and Reuters has not independently verified the stockpile figures. ATACMS and PRSM missiles are among the US military's most valuable long-range precision weapons, allowing forces to strike targets from a safe distance. ATACMS has already played a major role in Ukraine, while the newer PRSM is designed to replace it with greater range and capability. Defense analysts say both would also be critical in any future conflict involving China. The reported depletion has fueled concern inside the Trump administration, where officials have reportedly spent the past week discussing how much longer military operations against Iran can continue without weakening America's ability to respond to crises elsewhere. However, when asked, the White House issued a statement from Trump saying the US had far more munitions than anyone in the world, and far more than we need. According to that statement, American defense companies are, at this moment, making more munitions than they have ever made before, in addition to expanding their plants and equipment at record levels. The Pentagon also rejected concerns about military readiness, saying the US armed forces have everything they need to protect American interests and carry out operations wherever the president chooses. The concerns are not limited to offensive weapons. According to a recent report by the Center for Strategic and International Studies, around 65% of Patriot interceptor missiles and at least 38% of THAAD missile interceptors have also been expended since the conflict began. Two sources told Reuters those estimates matched internal US data. One source also said the United States has used nearly half of its global stockpile of Tomahawk cruise missiles during the war, although Reuters could not independently verify that figure. Even so, as the conflict with Iran drags on, the debate over America's military stockpiles is intensifying. With precision weapons being consumed at an unprecedented rate, the challenge now is not only sustaining the current campaign, but ensuring the United States remains prepared for whatever crisis comes next.